Hey guys, welcome back to Spilling the Reality with Trisha and Kylie. Once again, Trisha is still not back from her vacation, but tomorrow she's going to be back with us. So I'm glad to have Lerin here with me again. Lerin, how are you?
I'm tired. It's Monday. I had to teach all day. Now I'm out about Big Brother. They expect me to stay up till like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused as to why they decided to move Big Brother to Mondays and then it still gets put on the back burner to Monday Night Football. So a little confusing, but okay. So I guess depending on your time zone and where you are, Big Brother is going to be delayed. Apparently, it's going to be on about 10 o'clock tonight. I don't think I can be awake that long.
Why they do us like that?
I'm probably going to have to watch the episode tomorrow because I have to get up super early, and so it's probably not going to happen. But anyways, so guys, we're going to be talking about the live feed. So if you've got any comments while we're going through the show, make sure to drop us a comment and we'll hit on that. It was a pretty slow day in the Big Brother house yesterday, so there's not going to be a whole lot to go over. But let's get into it. So we get this conversation yesterday with Cody and Nicole, and it's a little bit complicated, so I had to make sure that I've got it down in my notes correctly.
I'll let you know if it's right or not.
If I got it right, is that what you said?
If it makes sense or not.
Okay, so here's the conversation. We know that Tyler told Enzo about the committee. And then Enzo went and told Cody, hey, Tyler told me about the committee finally. So Cody and Nicole are talking yesterday, and Cody says, hey, Enzo kind of made this weird comment to me. And he said that he bets that I, Cody, told you, Nicole, about Tyler telling me, Enzo, about the committee and the wise guys. And so I told him I did not tell Nicole about the wise guys, but I did tell her that Tyler told you about the committee. So that's super complicated. And if you didn't follow all of that, it's basically a he said, she said, but it's really Cody crossing his T's. And he's making sure that he gets all of his conversations lined out and making sure that, oh, hey, Enzo knows that you know, but he can't know that I did actually tell you about the wise guys. So
it didn't come from me.
Right. So I didn't tell you about the wise guys. I did tell you about Tyler telling Enzo about the committee, but you don't know anything about the wise guys, okay? And Nicole's like, okay, sounds great. And so they continue with their conversation, and we get what is this text message just came up over my phone? Okay, never mind. Not related to anything. Okay, so we get Nicole talking to Cody, and she talks about how much of a snake Tyler is because she is just like, are you serious? He told Enzo about the committee, and I knew this from day 4 that he was a snake. Rewind the tapes. What happened on day 4?
Right. Well, Keisha was still in the house.
Boy, we got to go back a ways because that was the downfall of my draft. My draft team took a nosedive since Keisha was on my team, and it's pretty much been crap ever since. So,
it's okay.
Anyways, so
that draft like I did.
What'd you say?
I said, at least you didn't get your hopes up on your draft. You were let down real early, whereas I've been riding it out this whole time. And
no, it's pretty much been me and Trisha at the bottom fighting it out. But now there's a couple people lower than us, so we're not the worst. We're just basically the worst.
Almost.
Do as I say, not as I do. Okay? Don't ever draft the same people that I do. It's not a good idea. So, anyways, yeah. So Nicole is calling somebody else a snake. Like, let's think about the irony of this. A person whose name is Snakehole.
Exactly. Tyler is not a snake. Take it back, Nicole. You'll lose your Lion Latch sponsorship. Take it back.
I'm gonna pull it from you. Oh my gosh. Dawn says, "Why did you pick Keisha?" Dawn, I picked
Exactly.
Keisha because of what she did in BB10. I mean, how was I going to know that she was going to come in this house and not do anything? She collected that 40K and she went on back to the house. So, I mean, props to her for not being stuck in this crazy ass season that she wouldn't have ever had a chance in, anyways. So,
You know what I do remember about that time period is like we never saw Danny, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, Danny's suddenly in the DRs, and I was like, "Who is that?"
yeah.
Because I didn't remember her with that blonde hair.
Dawn says, I didn't even remember her. So, yeah, she went to Final 3.
Yeah,
Final 3
sure.
maybe in BB10, like 3 or 4 with Dan, with Memphis, with Old Man Jerry. So I guess she got 4th. And
Who is
she's got this iconic moment from the show where her birthday party explodes and, they sing happy birthday to her in the midst of a fight and anybody want cake? And it's like one of the best moments from Big Brother. So I cannot choose it whenever I know the people. I get like too nostalgic and I F up. So
Is that the one where she's like yelling "F you" and flipping?
yes, and flipping off Mr. Spectacular. I mean, she was a freaking firecracker. So I'm just trying to figure out where that was. So
Yeah,
super
that's
disappointing, but
pretty sure that's a meme now.
yeah,
Um,
it's so iconic, but she didn't bring that energy. So that's why I drafted Keisha. Don't hate on my team. We're not going to talk about all the other losers that I drafted too. All right.
it's
Because,
only like the short list of 4.
well, I have 2 teams, and unfortunately, between my 2 teams, I've got 1 person left, and that's Cody.
But you won. I mean, you won in the past, which has been very frustrating.
I've won twice, but whatever.
And
Nobody's
so
counting.
then your husband won also.
Yeah, nobody's
Like,
counting, but the Kellys, we bring home the money. And he may win this season. I'm just saying, he's not out of it. Anyways, let's get back to the live feeds. So haters gonna hate.
facts.
So, Christmas cam talks. We get Christmas talking to the camera yesterday, and she's laying out for America what she's going to do if she wins HOH. And as we've talked about, she says that she's going to nominate Cody and Nicole, with her target being Cody. So, knowing that Cody is targeting Tyler to go home and keep Christmas in, this does make things a little, oh, maybe you're making the wrong decision here. What do you think?
I'm excited. I mean, okay, if I think about like Cody and Nicole, I mean, certainly she would be able to beat Nicole in a final 2, right? Or would she? I mean, she's pissed off Davon, but who else was mad at her out of the jury house?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, who was furious with her? Whereas Nicole, like, straight up lied to Davon's face when Davon
right.
was like, "Don't make me look like an idiot."
Backstabbed Ian. So
Yeah, right?
I
There's
mean,
no way Nicole's gonna win. No
this is
way.
a super smart decision on Christmas's part if she's able to pull it off. The problem is that she's going to have to convince the people that are voting to vote him out. And let's be honest, maybe the only chance Cody has of getting evicted is if he is sitting next to Enzo. Um,
Yeah,
like, I think that's the scenario he gets evicted in.
I don't know.
Because Christmas is putting up Memphis. So if she makes her initial nominations of Cody, and Nicole. If Nicole wins the veto by some luck and pulls herself off of the block, and she's got to choose between Memphis and Enzo as the replacement nominee, Memphis isn't going on the block. It would be Enzo. So that's about the only scenario that I see Cody leaving the house with the people that are voting. If Nicole, Enzo, Memphis, any of those get to vote, they're not sending him home. So we'll
But
see.
this is where like Enzo talking this big game and getting somebody big out of the house, pulling the trigger.
Mhm.
But then like he said that, and then he didn't do it with Nicole. Like what the?
Right. Right, exactly.
I
So,
mean, Enzo talks a lot about doing something
and
crazy.
I don't think Enzo would pull the trigger on Cody. I don't think Memphis is going to pull the trigger on Cody. I don't think Nicole's going to pull the trigger on Cody. The only possibility is if he's next to Enzo.
Right now, the
And
only way to secure safety is to win out. Like, and people, I mean, Nicole's
right.
gonna win out. They should just keep her around because she's not gonna win Big Brother either. But
Um so as Christmas is Cam talking, she does say like, "Hey, I wonder if the guys Enzo and Memphis will throw the HOH to me." So Christmas looking for that second HOH win this season that is thrown to her, just like the first one was. I guess the first one wasn't thrown to her, but she didn't have to do anything to win it.
gosh, what by
Um,
default? I mean,
yeah, you won by default, and so now she's hoping that the guys will throw it to her. And one other thing that happened yesterday is we get Memphis and Enzo talking, and Memphis is kind of laying out his plan moving forward. He is definitely targeting Nicole because he wants to get to the final four with his two Wise Guys alliances intact. And so he even brings up the point of, hey, if Christmas is sitting on the block, I think Cody's going to vote her out. So we need to make sure Cody is not available to vote Christmas out. So Christmas either needs to win HOH or she needs to win veto. And I don't feel like Memphis is telling Enzo, I don't feel like Cody's going to vote Nicole out no matter what. So I might have to put Cody on the block in order to vote out Nicole. So there's a good possibility that unless Enzo or Nicole wins HOH, we see Cody hit the block next week.
and hopefully, I mean, not hopefully. I hope he doesn't go home. I need him to win, so I at least get a few more points there at the end.
Um,
Press,
yeah,
like,
it in a Memphis HOH, I don't think there's any way that Cody goes home. Um, if it's Cody and Nicole on the block, you've got two people voting, Christmas and Enzo. Enzo's not going to evict him. Christmas might, but Memphis breaks the tie. So I think Cody is safe, but I think it could be a little bit of a wake up call for him because there's a chance he is going to touch the block next week.
well, I wish that not everyone did cam talks and they actually kept something themselves and then would surprise us and like send Cody home because no, who's gonna beat Cody? He's played such a good game. And
Right.
he's friends with everyone that's left in the house for the most part, and or has final twos, finals threes with all of them. So I mean,
Yeah.
it would be smart of them that as soon as they get the chance to take him out, and I don't understand this. It's all stars, but there are zero all star moves. There have been no all star moves. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with him cam talking, but I want you to go through with it. Like Christmas, I think this is a great plan. I'm, not giving Christmas any props this whole season.
no.
If she goes through with this plan and she puts Cody and Nicole up there and she swings and maybe she misses at Cody, but at least if she tries, it's going to move her up a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah,
She is realizing that Cody is running the game. So props for her.
right. They all should realize that. Like, I mean, the wise guys should be a clue. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
This the final two with Nicole. This it's just obvious that he's a threat, and they're thinking Tyler's a bigger threat right now when Tyler's pretty much like the lone wolf. Memphis is
Yeah.
playing the lone, but Tyler actually is. He's just got Christmas.
Yeah, he really kind of is. And
Yeah.
so, kind of wrapping up the feeds. The feeds were down a lot yesterday. I mean, we should just be used to this by now. But when they finally come back last night, they spent a long time on Nicole in the have not room. All 4 cameras on Nicole. That's so boring. Why? But anyways, once they finally switch over, we get Cody once again, Cam talking, and he's just telling America how at this point in the game, his first round, he was not looking at all of the different moves and all of the different possibilities, but Derek taught him that this is what he needs to do. So,
yeah, don't you think that would be this naturally like you're being intelligent? But then we think about Cody's not very intelligent.
not very intelligent. Yeah. So he says that he's laid out all the moves and he realizes like, oh, if Christmas wins HOH, I could be in a little bit of trouble. So he does see this and he's like, Nicole has got to win HOH. Like, I am really, really counting on her. And I'm like, oh shit, Cody, like, you probably shouldn't have gotten it down to you needing to bank on Nicole to win a comp.
There's so much chance though in the comps. Like I think about the
Yeah.
other Nicole, like her sealing the deal for what was that? That was Final 3 when she won that hockey game, and she like right. That was Final 3.
No, I don't think it was Final 3 because that
Was
was
it?
in the double eviction, but I mean, it was pretty far into the season.
Yeah. End. And I mean, who would have thought she would win a hockey like game? You know?
Right.
So there's so much chance, but the good thing is that Nicole falls all the time. So his plan could be foiled, you know.
Right. And I mean, but Nicole has won some comps in the past. So, I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. But when you are looking at somebody like Christmas, who is ultra competitive, she's obviously athletic. Memphis has won a shit ton of comps. So the odds are a little bit not in her favor.
Is it going to be something physical? Is it normally something physical in this last?
So I mean, they're really, really thinking that it's going to be the slip and slide, which I would think.
It's time.
I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of a toss up. Like, I maybe would give it slightly to Memphis because he's a man, and I mean, just longer strides, and I would think that he probably has a slight advantage. Don't doubt him because I have all season, but he keeps coming through with these comp wins. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that Memphis wins or Enzo wins or Nicole or Christmas. I think any of them could win. It's really a toss up.
I really hope Christmas does, but I don't want Cody to go home also. So
I don't like Christmas, so I don't know.
I know you don't. I know. I'm aware.
So that's kind of where we're at heading into tonight's episode. So at some point tonight, you will get an episode where we'll see the HOH comp that we have really not much of an idea about what it was. And we'll get to see Cody win. We'll get to see Cody's nominations. And the veto ceremony happened today, but we'll save that drama for y'all tomorrow. I know you're on pins and needles wondering what Cody's going to do, but we're not gonna spoil that for you today.
Like the whole season has been that way.
Right. Shocker.
Right.
Don't be disappointed.
We have meme of the day. Can you pull up pictures?
Well, I can pull up a picture right now that I've got ready, which is the tweet of the day, which I'm trying to find, which I don't have open yet. And this is just kind of the point that I'm at in the game. Like, everybody that I like has left, and there's no one left to root for. And every time I move my, like, okay, I would be okay with this person winning, they go home. So, this is just where we're at. And y'all, this picture is not coming up yet. I'm not going to click the button because I don't want it to screw my computer up. So let's look at some questions real quick before we go to the tweet of the day because I'm not trying to make my computer screw up. Let me see. Dawn says they're going to have a compilation this season of every player calling Kwanzaa crazy. I think everybody at some point in time has referenced her being a little bit cuckoo.
I hope there's a compilation of Nicole falling.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Okay, so the Mole Man says, what if Enzo wins veto and uses it on Cody? I'm assuming that this is going back to the Christmas HOH with, okay.
Absolutely.
So there's 6 people left in the house. Tyler's gone. That leaves 5. Christmas is HOH. She nominates those 2. She'd have no choice but to put Memphis up. Then you've got Memphis versus Nicole on the block with Cody and Enzo voting. Ooh, that is a little bit interesting.
That's a fun scenario, so now we can root for that to happen.
Yeah, that's a real interesting scenario because you've got Enzo that probably leans towards keeping Memphis, maybe. And you've got Cody that's definitely leaning towards keeping Nicole. I think Cody's probably's got the pull over Enzo. They keep Nicole and they evict Memphis.
Yeah, because how are you going to beat Memphis, too? Memphis has played a good game. You would just have to piss him off, which a few people in the jury house are pissed off at Memphis.
Yeah. But, I mean, I definitely think that probably Memphis goes home. J Jobs says, who wins with a Memphis and Christmas as final 2? I think that Memphis does because he's made the game moves. They're both not the most likable, so it would be a little bit of a toss-up, but that's kind of what I think.
I mean, I think it depends on if people are voting for someone that played a good game or if they're voting against the person that made them the angriest.
Yeah.
It depends. I guess it could go to Memphis either way on that one, but I mean.
I'm trying to, it likes to jump around. Oh gosh, Russell was here. I don't know if he's still here. I love Christmas. It's killing me. That's what she said. Oh, he was here for a while. I don't know if he's still here. I'm so far behind on comments. All right, let me see if this tweet came up yet. Okay.
Dragon Monkey said, I hope Christmas wins so at least Russell will be happy. Out of the whole season, just Russell will be happy.
Yeah. Okay, what is this doing? Okay. You know what? We're not going to have a tweet of the day today because I don't know what's happened. Anyways, the tweet of the day comes from Andy. You're not going to get to see it, but he basically says, like, I don't have anybody else to root for. At this point in time, I'm just rooting for Cody because he's played the best game. So there you go. Same. That's who I'm rooting for, too.
Waka Waka. I mean,
who else?
Me, I guess.
Huh?
I said, I guess me too. I don't want Enzo to win. My meme is of Rafiki holding up Simba and saying Simba is Enzo and throwing him off the cliff.
Yeah.
Enzo. And Enzo had the opportunity to really do something big here at the end, and he didn't do it. I mean, he was playing a great social game, but he forgot about the winning part, like how he's gonna beat everyone else without as many HOH wins or comp wins. Period.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Dragon Monkey. Am I stupid? Like, are you talking about ass cheeks? But I'm really not sure. Wait till there's a challenge where you got to use your cheeks. Are you talking about Christmas's ass cheeks or her actual cheeks? I don't understand. Maybe that one went over my head. But you've made several references, and I don't follow.
Are we talking about the banana? Like, kind of like the banana challenge?
I mean, are you saying something sexual or? All right, so I don't know. I don't know what this means, but
Are there any gifts of that challenge? Because I'm gonna start.
Yes, there is.
In our group.
There is. Hold on, I may have it still.
Yeah, what do I have to put in the gift search bar to get that?
Um, I can send it to you, but we've got one of Enzo slow motion riding that banana. um,
Oh, that was a good one. I also like the comp where they're getting smacked over and over again by a big hand and kicked by a foot, you know?
yeah, that one was fun. I like that one. There's been a lot of comps that they usually do that we haven't gotten to see yet. So, J
Yeah.
Job says, seriously, I heard Memphis also broke his foot. Like, recently? He broke
That
his foot?
It'll be just like Christmas and get to like sit out and still ride it to the end. Like,
Yeah.
which that was still. If you were on the challenge and you got hurt, you're booted. You're done.
Yeah.
Which also
Okay.
that's kind of think about it because Christmas rode it so far on her last Big Brother with a broken foot because people didn't think she was a threat. She still made it really far, even being like physically able to compete in everything when she got picked.
Yeah. African American says, who's pissed off at Memphis at Jury House? I don't think anyone's necessarily pissed off at Memphis. I just think, except for David, maybe. But I think the general consensus is that he's just kind of a douchebag. So they may not really want to vote for him.
Well, I can see Kevin rolling his eyes, like talking about Memphis.
Yeah.
And then Kevin and Dave are buds, you know, but not saying one would do what everyone else does, but still.
Okay, African American follows that up with Christmas beats no one left at final two. Memphis beats anyone left at final two. Okay, hot take. I mean, so much of it does come down to bitter jury. I do give the edge to Cody and Enzo, and then Memphis probably third. But I mean, there's still a lot of game left, so we'll see.
Memphis got second last time with no HOHs, so.
Yep. Somebody said Memphis is like the boss that you don't like. Where'd it go? Memphis is like the boss you don't like, but somehow still respect. I mean, I think in the game a little bit, not as an actual human because he seems like a real douchebag.
Right. We'll never forget him making fun of Ian, man. Ever.
Right. Dragon Monkey says, actual cheeks. Does she have big cheeks? I don't understand. Christmas in the Chipmunks.
She kind of does.
That's funny. I guess she does kind of have some chipmunk.
She cracks me up, man. She's like so cheery and cheerleaderish, and then she gets like so
psycho.
It's like, oh my god.
I had to rewatch the veto episode today whenever I was scoring Big Brother for our draft, and just on a whole new level. She's so crazy.
Right? Here Tyler gets picked for everyone. Almost everyone. Yeah. She doesn't get picked. Like,
yeah.
She's a competitor.
Yeah.
A little extreme.
Lucy I says Memphis has plantar fasciitis and he aggravated it. He's old.
Yeah, so how's he
That's great.
When he's got like issues like that?
Okay, I mean, if it's really plantar fasciitis, he's gonna be okay. I mean, Lucy, I don't know how old you are, but let's not hate on people having some plantar fasciitis because I got that and it hurts, but he's gonna be okay. And I'm not as old as Memphis.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive. I've had plantar fasciitis for a long time. Like, as soon as I started coaching, I had plantar fasciitis. So, it's been like a decade. Okay, I was young. So, I was young when I got plantar fasciitis.
All right, so let's talk about you being now with plantar fasciitis and you trying to do the slip and slide challenge. How's that going?
Oh, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I could so do it with plantar fasciitis. It's not that big of a deal. So we'll see. But that's hilarious. So, all right. You got any other thoughts about what's happening in this wonderful Big Brother house?
No, these feuds are boring compared to what's to come. So, I mean,
We can only hope.
I'm just sad about like everything switching, like moving towards Tyler. Makes me sad.
Bye. He hasn't done enough this season. I'm okay with him leaving.
He
If
just
I had
disappointed me. He's disappointed me so much.
look, if I had my preference based 100% on gameplay, we would get a final two of Cody and Memphis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Based strictly on gameplay. And then I would put Enzo there in third and Nicole and Christmas way, way down, nowhere near those three.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Tyler just he's not the player that he was the last time, and it makes me very sad because he's like very knowledgeable about the game. Like he could have been a good player, but he's weak, man.
Yeah. he likes Angela too much.
That's what
I almost said something really inappropriate. So we're going to stop there. All right. So that is going to bring us to the end of our show today. Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up. Drop a comment on the video once it is all uploaded on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to the Russell Hantz Show. And we will see you guys later. Bye, y'all. Bye. Cheers. Where's your cup? Okay, good.
I remembered. Okay.